gained coronally. I know I'm not the only one. Please comment down below. Tell me I'm not the only one because eating has become a hobby. Hi everyone, welcome back to Eleahvate. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you clicked on this video, clearly you watched part 1 and you were intrigued to see what was on part 2 of 24 things I know at age 24. If you haven't watched the video yet, I will link it? Is that what it is? Link it up in the cards above. So this is 24 things I know at age 24 part 2. So my next guiding principle is people are doing the best they can with what they have. This one kind of came about because I remember when I was in high school, I had a teacher who was explaining the troubles and the challenges he faced with having an alcoholic father. And years down, when he was teaching us, he talked about how he forgave his father because his dad did the best he could with what he had. It kind of allowed me to take a step back and cultivate more empathy for his dad, because clearly in that situation, his dad was going through some things, fighting his own demons. This mindset allows me to not be so judgmental as well, because sometimes I think it's easy to look at somebody else and say, hey, they're doing this wrong, I'm able to do this right, why can't they do it the same way that I'm doing it? And it makes you kind of take a step back and realize like, oh, maybe this person didn't have the same opportunities, or they didn't come up in the same background, or they weren't as privileged as you were. My next guiding principle is if you cannot enjoy your own company, then nobody will. Kind of a bit dramatic, like nobody will. Honestly, I just feel like learning to love and nurture the relationship with yourself will bring you more happiness with all the relationships in your lives. Like if you're finding that you always need somebody in your life to make you feel happy, I feel like I've been in that situation before. The more people that I surrounded myself with, I wasn't necessarily more happy. It forced me to really just sit down with myself and learn how to enjoy my own company. The next guiding principle is how you do anything is how you do everything. I really like this one because I feel like sometimes we do things in silos, right? We think that I need to get this task done and that I can only use this set of skills that I've learned in this environment and that I can't take anywhere else. When in reality, a lot of the skills you are learning in a specific area can be transferred or applied to another area in your life. For example, when I was in university, I used to serve at a restaurant and I would have to deal with all types of people. I would have to cater to different personality types. Sometimes it was really challenging, which has helped me in my career now because with my job, all of my clients are such different types of people. They have all different personalities. They like different things. They relate to different types of people. And I feel like that has really helped me connect and build a strong rapport with the clients that I see. Ooh, I love this one. This one is, you will never know unless you try. I feel like this one just ties back to like the idea of like fear, and you know, fear holds you back. You don't want to try things out of your comfort zone when you're fearful of what the result could be. But in reality, you will never know the outcome of something until you try it. Even with this YouTube channel, this is what, my 4th video now, I think, and I'm absolutely loving this process. I think it's so much fun. I love YouTube because all of these things that I just like think in my head, I'm able to actually put into a video and be like, here you go. Did y'all relate? Did you like it? Did you think the same thing too? Have you thought that before? Have you been thinking that? Like, that's exactly why I like YouTube. This next one that I have written down is quality over quantity. I literally use this for every aspect of my life. Like I always say, I would rather have 4 really also, count how many times I say really. Honestly, go back to my first video, count, tally it up. Someone tell me, because I did not know that I said that word so much. But I thoroughly enjoy this thing because I would rather have 4 quality, good, loyal, honest friends versus having like 100 friends. And I always say that because you could have like the most friends, you could be the most popular person, but at the end of the day, if those aren't quality relationships in your life, then to me they're meaningless. My next guiding principle is invest in yourself. I absolutely love this saying because you are your greatest investment. You can only get better. You want to put more into yourself. You want to pour more into your cup. Investing in yourself could mean going to a program in school that you want to challenge yourself with because you really think that you can make a difference and you think that you can excel in this program. That could be investing in yourself. My next one is your why is more important than your what. I always say this because sometimes I'll find myself working so hard at something and like I'm not satisfied with it and I feel like it's more of like a chore, the end result I haven't really connected to, so I'll tell myself like, do you even really want to do this? Like, why do you want to do this? And it always comes down to your why. That's like your passion, that's your purpose. And I always think if I can identify my why and if my why is strong enough, then that will keep me going. So my next guiding principle is self-care is not a luxury, but rather a necessity. This one is so important to me because as somebody who really enjoys like skincare, when I'm in the process of putting on a face mask, for example, and putting on my products after that, and I'm really enjoying the process, I'm not doing it because I'm thinking that, okay, putting on this face mask is gonna solve all my problems. I'm doing it because it's the intention behind it. To me, it's me taking the time to take care of myself, to do something that makes me feel good on the inside, and to really just take that time as me time, because I feel like I'm somebody who often gets caught up in being really busy for other people, for myself. And when I'm not consciously taking time to myself and taking time to care for myself, that's when I kind of get lost in it because I'm neglecting myself. So something as simple as doing my skincare every single night really allows me just to feel centered and allows me to take back that 20 minutes of my day and put it into myself. Ooh, this one's a big one. If you feel attacked by this, I'm sorry. You need to read it again. You need to rewind. Say what you're going to do and do what you say.
Period! 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 Period!
I really like this next one. It's if you're not happy now, then you won't be happy when you get it. It always comes back to your why, right? If I'm not happy now and I don't learn to love myself now, then I'm not gonna be happy when I make any sort of transformation. So going back to a couple years ago, I lost I think it was 20 pounds or something like that. And I realized that once I lost the weight, internally I didn't really feel all that different. I still had issues with my self-image and my self-esteem. Sure, I looked a bit better in my eyes, to myself, but it just taught me to value things more on the inside than I do on the outside. And I feel like in turn, once I was able to do that for myself, then I kind of was able to do that for other people, which makes me happy because I feel like I always want to be less judgmental of myself and other people. This one is nothing great happens in the comfort zone. So I always tell myself this because I'm somebody who loves playing it safe. I like to do things that are a little predictable sometimes. It's not going to challenge me sometimes. I've grown though, I've changed. So I like to remind myself that if I want better, then I'm gonna have to do better, right? And that takes a period of growing. That takes a period of maybe learning things and not being the best at something. And I saw something on Instagram actually a couple days ago, and it said something along the lines of a majority of people don't ever start because they don't ever want to be at the bottom. And I was like, yeah, I definitely was one of those people and still struggle with it from time to time, but you have to be willing to start from the bottom, be humble and be like, you know what, maybe I don't know everything in this, but I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to put in the time and the energy to actually learn more about this so I can be the best at something. My next guiding principle is you can be your greatest enemy or your greatest friend. This one's pretty important to me because for the longest time, I feel like I was my biggest critic, and I always will be my biggest critic. I had a bit of an epiphany because I realized that I had so much negative internal dialogue about myself, and once I realized that it wasn't everybody in society or people in my life making me feel bad about myself, it was literally me, which was really tough to look at and to accept because it's how can you be your greatest enemy? It just feels so backwards once you realize it. But once I realized that, I was like, no, I need to be more kind to myself. And at the end of the day, I'm the person who lives in my thoughts till the day I die, right? I'm the person who's in this body, in this mind. So I can either make it a happy place for myself or I can make it a negative place for myself. My last guiding principle is I'm a lifelong learner. I am a lifelong student and I'm forever learning. I love this mindset because I feel like so often people will finish their higher education, they'll graduate, they'll get their degree, and they're like, okay, the learning's over. And it's no, you actually are a lifelong student. I love learning new things. I think it's so great when I can continuously increase my amount of knowledge or increase my little internal library in my head. And that's why I love just like reading different books, reading different articles, learning new skills. And I think that with the mindset of being like a lifelong student, there's something so beautiful about that to me, and just to be able to look forward to the rest of my life and being like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to know everything that I'm gonna know. That is the video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen my other videos, please check out the rest of them on my channel and stay tuned for the next video. Bye. Sayonara. Goodbye. I don't know, I hope you guys had fun. Why do I always do that? Okay.